All right, what's going on, guys? I'm actually iridescent in ranked play, and I've been dropping a high. All right, what's going on, guys? So I'm actually iridescent in ranked play, and I've been dropping a lot of high kill gameplays with these top 5 setups. So I wanted to hook you guys up, see if you guys can, have a good time with these setups, especially since there's no tuning. I wanted to let you guys know why I use certain things and why I don't. So we're gonna start out with the VASNEV 9K. So this is actually the class I've been using recently. I included the Spiral V3.5 Flash Hider. And it's crazy that this thing has pretty much no recoil. Like this thing right here, muzzle flash concealment and recoil steadiness at the cost of aim down sight speed and aiming stability. I wasn't using a muzzle at first. I really wasn't. I was using the FSS SHARKFIN, TRUE-TAC grip, and OTREZAT stock with no muzzle. This made a huge difference. In fact, I may not even need FSS SHARKFIN anymore, but the fact that there's no cons, why wouldn't you run it? So this is what I've been running. I also put on, like I said, the FSS SHARKFIN for the aiming out stability. There's really no better alternative. Everything else pretty much has a con, so there's no point in running anything else other than that. The TRUE-TAC grip for the sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed increase at the cost of recoil control, but like I said, with the Spiral V3.5, you won't even notice. And then the OTREZAT stock for aim walking speed and sprint speed at the cost of aiming stability. And now I have to show you guys how amazing this thing is. Like, it basically feels like no recoil at all. Like, I mean, it felt like little recoil in the first place, but then when you put this on there, there's basically no recoil at all. Like, it's super easy to use, and the aim down sight speed is still really good. Sprint to fire speed, everything is pretty solid. So honestly, this is something I highly recommend. If you haven't tried this out yet, and trust me, I was doubting it too until I saw everybody in the lobby using this way more now. So please try this out, give it a try, and you'll honestly go crazy. The next thing I do want to show you guys is this is essentially Shotzi's MP7, but I do recommend it because it's absolutely nuts. So we start out with the Edge 47 grip for the aiming out of stability and recoil stabilization at the cost of aim down sight speed, but trust me, it doesn't matter. You're not even going to notice that reduction with everything we're going to put on there. Put on the 30 round mag for movement speed, aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, and reload quickness. Like, this is probably the best SMG in regards to like the reload quickness, because even if you run out of bullets, the reload is so fast that it's essentially faster than a regular reload of any other SMG. We also put on the SCHLAGER soldier grip for sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed at the cost of recoil control. And last but not least, the Demo RXT stock for crouch movement speed, sprint speed, and aim down sight speed at the cost of recoil control. I wouldn't be crazy to put a Vel A568 collapse, even though it would essentially help your movement more, because that'd just be way too much recoil, and honestly, this is more than enough. So just show you guys how good this thing is. First of all, your movement's going to be really good. Like, you're going to move really fast. You're going to fly around the map essentially. But ADS is the thing I really love. Like, sprint to fire speed, ADS, fantastic. Like, you guys see how fast that is. You're essentially like, there's essentially no wait time. You just get right into it. And you guys see how fast I got the kill. So it's such an amazing SMG that I really am surprised that it's actually allowed in ranked play, because it's just a dangerous weapon. So with that being said, give it a try. I think that you'll absolutely love it, especially if you hit your shots. Now, there is a little bit of recoil from mid-range, but if you get your shot on point, then it's really easy. In fact, I'll show you guys what happens if you get your shot on point. So we're going to let this thing actually do this thing, and here we go. Super easy to control, super low recoil, as short range, medium range, tiny bit of recoil, but honestly still gets the job done. So give it a try, use it, and I'm sure you'll love it. Next, I'm going to show you guys another version with the BRUEN pendulum. At first, people were using this, and I don't really blame them, because this was what pretty much every pro was using. The BRUEN pendulum actually helps with vertical and horizontal recoil control, but as you guys saw with the other build, it doesn't really need this. I'm going to give you guys an example of what you would get with the BRUEN pendulum real quick. Super low recoil, and honestly, I mean, long range is the only downside. It's always a downside doing it long range, but what I ended up learning is I didn't want any downside from the BRUEN pendulum, like the ADS penalty. And what ends up happening is I still feel like I have low recoil. So I essentially felt like there was no need for BRUEN pendulum when it was essentially just giving you downside effects. So if you guys want to use this VASNEV, you can actually use this version. You'll probably have more luck than if you were using the BRUEN pendulum. So anyone watching and still using the BRUEN pendulum, take it off. Another thing I gotta show you guys is the TAC 56. This version is insane. The Komodo Heavy for horizontal recoil control at the cost of aim down sight speed and aiming stability. Now, a lot of people question why the Komodo Heavy instead of the RF Crown 50. Here's the thing. The horizontal recoil control is really the only factor. You really don't get horizontal recoil control. Vertical recoil control that much. But I also put on the 17.5 Tundra Pro Barrel for damage range, hip fire accuracy, and bullet velocity at the cost of aim down sight speed and hip recoil control, which doesn't really matter. I put on the high velocity for the bullet range. The bullet velocity at the cost of damage range, and then the demo clean shot grip for sprint to fire speed, aim down sight speed at the cost of recoil control. This is the build that I'm using, and honestly, I'm super happy with it. If you guys didn't want to use high velocity, I can give you an alternative. But this is what happens when you actually use this build. It's absolutely nuts, incredibly broken, super easy to use. I'm going to let you guys see this one more time, just in case you guys thought that was a fluke. Super easy weapon to use. Now, if you guys don't want to use high velocity, it's completely up to you. I feel like it makes a difference. You can use the XLINE Pro if you want to use that, or you can use the TV Cardinal. Whichever one you want to use, I would suggest the XLINE Pro over this, just so you guys can see what it can actually do. It's going to be essentially faster. It's going to give you a tiny bit more recoil, but as you guys see with the bullet velocity reduction, it just, I don't know. I feel like it might be placebo. Like everyone, all these analytical YouTubers have talked about how it doesn't really do much damage, make a difference until it gets to like 60 meters, but I feel like I feel it. Maybe it's the ghost bullets like the pros say, but in my opinion, the previous build is superior. If you want to use this build, feel free, and you'll still absolutely do it, like go on a tear. And that, in my opinion, is the best TAC 56. Now, and one more thing I actually did want to show you guys is the PDSW, the P90 basically. This weapon is going around ranked play now, and a lot of people are using it. So I wanted to give you guys a good build just in case you guys, wanted to try it out for yourselves. Me personally, I won't be trying it, but I wanted to give you guys a good build regardless. So the XTEN Razor comp for the horizontal and vertical recoil control at the cost of aim down sight speed and aiming stability. Then we move on to the FTAC Series 9, 14.5 inches for damage range, hip fire accuracy, movement speed, and bullet velocity. This is the one you want to use. You don't want to use any of these other ones just because they're not really ideal. Now you get a reduction of hip recoil control, aim down sight speed, and recoil control. Not a big deal. Put on the CQB stock for crouch movement speed, sprint speed, aim down sight speed, the cost of recoil control, and then the TV TACM. What is this? The comb for sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed, the cost of aiming stability, and aim walking speed. Now, if you wanted to throw an optic on here, you can. I really didn't feel a need to, and honestly, I feel like there's other things you could put on there, like the Stip 40 grip instead. But just show you guys what we have on there right now. You guys see it absolutely tears. And in my opinion, it's a fantastic SMG. It's just not the SMG for me. And it still has super low recoil. Like, as you guys see, it has super low recoil. I don't really think there needs to be a priority on more recoil control. And in fact, if we put a sight on there, I don't even know if it would actually do as well. Now, we can give it a gander, check it out, see what it does. Still gets the job done. And in fact, if you want a better sight, you can actually use this. But, like I said, it's just not for me. It's really not for me. But if you want to use it, feel free. So, with that being said, this is the top 5 loadouts for ranked play. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys will be using. I'll greatly appreciate it. Have a great day.